These days, first-person shooters generally come in two flavours, space and military. If you're lucky, you might get a blend of the two. Firmly straddling both genres is Dust 514, a free-to-play shooter that depicts space warfare on an epic scale. Before you collectively doze off, Dust 514 actually does something different by intertwining with complex MMO EVE Online. It's certainly ambitious, but does Dust 514 actually succeed?
You're about to jump into a galaxy of opportunity, wealth, destruction, and death.
Set a whopping 21,000 years in the future, the EVE universe depicts a time in which a natural wormhole has led to the discovery of an unexplored galaxy known as New Eden. Taking place within the same ever-expanding universe as EVE Online, Dust 514 takes a detour from the spaceship-based action of its forebear to focus on the infantry battles being fought upon the planet's surfaces. Taking the role of elite mercenaries aligned to different factions, players are thrust into frantic battles with up to 32 players, all fighting for domination across the planets of New Eden. Relying heavily on tight team play and squad-based mechanics, Dust 514's actual gameplay most closely resembles the squad-based action of EA's Battlefield series. Landing upon various different maps based upon the planets of EVE Online, the different modes of Dust 514 will be as familiar to first-person shooter junkies as spawn kills and lag. Skirmish and Domination offer Battlefield-style fights for control over several hackable cannons, while Ambush offers straight-up team deathmatch without the trimmings. Most excitingly, players can form and join corporations in which you'll accept contracts from EVE players, which dramatically affect the universe of both games. Whilst you'll spend much of your time waging war on the battlefield, it's the Neocom system that makes Dust 514 drastically different to other shooters. Before each match, you'll be confined to your personal quarters, where many complicated menus need to be conquered in order to emerge victorious. While players start off with basic equipment and default loadouts, you'll need to master the skill trees and sprawling menus of the Neocom to gain better weapons and new abilities. The Neocom gives Dust 514 a welcome depth unseen in most shooters, but the free-to-play nature of the game also raises some issues. With item upgrades and skills costing hefty points, players can improve more quickly by spending real cash in the market. While developer CCP have affirmed that those who spend oodles of cash won't get an unfair advantage, it's hard not to be concerned with the sheer number of players running amok with skill-boosting augmentations. As a free-to-play title that's endured a lengthy beta, certain technical issues and bugs should be forgiven. Unfortunately, we still feel distinctly underwhelmed by the inconsistent visuals of Dust 514. Maps are impressively large and filled with looming dystopian landmarks and J.J. Abrams-worthy lens flare, but they ultimately lack distinction and personality. Sadly, this isn't helped much by the extremely muddy textures and frequent graphical bugs. Perhaps most crucially, the fluidity which can make or break a shooter is distinctly lacking, and Dust 514 often feels clunky and unintuitive when it comes to engaging in combat. If you're looking for a tactical shooter which requires a passion for complex menu navigation as well as combat, Dust 514 may impress. Sadly, its core gameplay is far from perfect, leaving the unique elements looking like fancy wrapping paper on an underwhelming gift. Dust 514 will continue to evolve, and it deserves to be applauded for its ambition, but it has some way to go before it lives up to the legacy of EVE Online.